Everything on your path becomes your path. I still remember one of my friends. He and I went to business school. He had a bachelor's in accounting, and he and I were making fun about how boring accounting was. And he now is a director, makes about $300,000 a year, and is in a place where most people would see as financially successful. And if you knew that the reason why he got his first job, his breakthrough role at a top accounting firm, was from interviewing with someone where he connected with that person because that person and him had a similar bond because they went and worked at the cafeteria together, you would be shocked. And when I would tell you the story about how I got my first job on Wall Street, matter of fact, that job was created for me. There was no position available, but the person liked me so much that they went and created a position for me. And the reason I connected with that person is because on my resume I only had one thing, one internship, unpaid, and that internship was literally something that I took just because I didn't have anything on my resume. My friend and I, we had gone to different places, and my friend and I looked at each other, and he said, "I can't take that internship, bro. I need to focus on my studies. I can't take something that's not gonna pay me." Meanwhile, I said, "You know what? I don't have anything on my resume. I don't know where it's going to lead me, but let me take it." In each of those instances, as you can see, one thing that you never expect would ever make a difference is what leads to a breakthrough. The way that I found the gym is quite similar as well. I was unemployed over a year, facing deportation. I didn't have a car. I had to sell everything that I had because I was bankrupt. Bank accounts closed. And in that moment, I didn't have anything to do my whole day. And I needed to find something to just stay sane. That's when I asked my friend. I was sleeping in his house, in his spare bedroom. And I said, "Man, can you give me some money so that I can get this membership?" And he helped me out. He did help me out. I let my ego to the side because didn't have enough money that month. But that month, I'll still remember it. I didn't know anything about lifting weights, but all I was focused on was just the pain that I had. Alone, no job, bank accounts closed. As someone who had multiple degrees, someone who had big dreams of making it big, while all my friends were having jobs and doing things that I was considering as things that I deserved myself, and seeing where I was, I literally found the gym in those moments. As I look here, 10 years in the gym, everybody's looking at me and saying, "Wow, man, I want to be like you." And as you can see again, something that was the worst moment of my life ended up turning into the greatest transformation of my life. But with the empty stomach, with the bank accounts closed, selling my car, selling everything that I had, this is also the time that I learned who were my real friends. Not because the other friends weren't going to be my real friends, but I was able to build a bond for life with the friends, the people that were there with me at my bottom. The connection that I had with myself. I would have never had this connection with myself. I was someone who really liked going out all the time. And yes, I had a problem spending money onto things just because I wanted to show off whenever I would go out of town, go out and party. And spending time with myself with no money humbled me in ways that I'm truly grateful for. It made me a better man. It made me a better friend. Made me a better son. It made me a better human. Now, you may be in a position in your life right now where you think you've missed the boat. But I'll dare to say that the very situation you're in qualifies you to be an expert into something, qualifies you first to be an expert in telling your story, the story of you facing challenges in your life, you persevering to getting to where you are, you managing to navigate certain situations, or perhaps you facing the negative side of the situations you've been in. And right now, right here, in this exact moment of your life, you're sitting at the dawn of possibly the greatest transformation of your life. Maybe you've gained weight. Maybe you lost sight of your goals. Maybe you haven't been a good friend. Maybe you haven't been a good son, a good daughter. Maybe you've messed up, or so you think. Well, this is the moment for you to literally create the greatest transformation of how you're going to have a certain breakthrough with your mindset, how you're going to have a certain breakthrough that'll be an example for people who have been through your situation. Maybe people who come from where you're from, people who are facing those struggles with the same situation that you're in. You know, when you look at those people out there that you respect, don't you notice that it's always related to people who have been through it and have been able to embrace those challenges? The favorite movie that you see and that you love, your favorite character, it's not someone that had all figured out with no challenges. It's someone who faced challenges. And if you just stopped the movie there and didn't see the ending, maybe you were at the edge of your seat wondering what would happen next. Maybe you were telling yourself, man, why doesn't he or she do this? Well, that character right now is you. You are in this moment of your movie, right there in this moment of your journey. The adventure is having you exactly where you need to be. And if you feel you're different, if you feel, why is it happening to me? I'll say, great. You're exactly in the place where your blessing is staring right at you. Because if you feel that things are happening to you and you feel like what you're going through is unique, stay in that moment, open your eyes, and dare to dig deep. Maybe on the other side of that pain is the desperation that will push you to knock at the doors that before in the past you thought you were too good for. Now you have rent to pay, you have a family to provide for, you have nothing to lose. Sometimes I think that in so many ways, the people who are blessed to have challenges are the ones that are literally the lucky ones. Of course, facing challenges is not a good thing. Some challenges are more difficult than others. For example, for me, I had a hip tumor. As I said, I was bankrupt. As I said, I was unemployed over a year facing deportation. I wasn't talking to my parents for a whole year. I lost 99.9% of my friends. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on schooling to not have any job. I made thousands of job applications without getting anything. I went into relationships that didn't work out. I went from skinny to overweight. My parents, my family, the shame around it, the self-image, the self-love, being hard on myself, I faced it. But it is in those moments, man, that I found that part of me that said, you know what? If I have to go all out, if I have to go out like this, I'm gonna go out fighting. And that's exactly at the time where finally, for the first time, I took a job working at Amazon on a night shift. I connected with a place on me that was a warrior that I never knew was in me. I started reading books when before in my whole life I never read books. I started reading things about spirituality when before in the past I would always think that that was too much. I learned to understand what it is to connect with the power within. All concept that I thought I knew Just because now life put me in those situations, I was actually learning by experience. And as I went to those interviews, as I started applying to more jobs, this exact hunger is what pushed me to drive hours on hours to go for informal interviews. This is what pushed me to draft my story in a way that would embrace the challenges that I faced as a reason why people should hire me as a go-getter, as someone who is courageous, a leader. It's also what humbled me enough to learn about emotional intelligence. It's also what humbled me to accept that I was not perfect. And because I knew I wasn't perfect, I realized that others also weren't perfect. That I couldn't just go out there and judge other people. That I had to accept that everything that I would be involved with, I would face challenges. That allowed me to handle conflict way more easily. That allowed me to be more confident in the face of adversity. Going to the gym taught me so much about discipline. It taught me so much about self-love when nobody's watching. It taught me so much about committing and letting go and not being perfect. I would have never, I would have never discovered these sides of me without the trials and tribulations that I went through in my journey. Right here, right now, you are in this moment of your life where maybe you're not been on top of your budget, you've not been on top of your relationship, you've not been on top of your goals. But life is putting you in those situations for a reason. And that reason, only you can find out what that reason is. But the beauty of life, and I truly believe it deep in my heart, is that everything you do has a secret for you, has a superpower, an infinite stone that becomes part of you. As they say, amor fati, the love of one's destiny. As you march on, surrender to that belief, surrender to that bigger power that has allowed you to still remain here standing. And if you're here standing, it's for a reason. As you know, maybe your parents, one of them died. Not everybody is gonna make it, but you're here. So for the time that you have here, go out and live it. As I always say, get busy living, not getting busy dying. You will never reach your full potential, man. That's an illusion. Because you are limitless. Your story is yours alone. And you are not made to be a copy of a copy of a copy. If you're different than others, it's for a reason. That is the edge that will differentiate you for that business. That is the edge that will differentiate you in front of that significant other. That is the edge that will ground you, that will embody the values and the virtues that you knew, that you thought you knew, but now life is actually ingraining it deep inside your soul. Those are the victories between you and yourself that no one will ever take away from you, regardless of what happens. That is what I mean by everything on your path becomes your path. You're exactly here for a reason. This moment right now has put you right at the dawn of the greatest transformation of your life. I believe in you, fam. Go out there and shine. As always, wherever you are, wherever you come from, you are destined for greatness. Get busy living, not busy dying. Love.